Welcome, my peeps, my peoples. Please like, comment, subscribe, share the video to be greatly appreciated from the bottom of my heart, my peeps, my peoples. It's Mary Jane. Let's talk about Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 3, Episode 5. Let's get into it with Ashley, teaching yoga. She's trying to find her Zen place because she don't want to cut her mother off. And she doesn't know how to cut her mother off, but she might lose her husband in between time and meantime. She might be out sleeping in a tent like her mom would be if she cuts her off. So I don't know how Ashley's going to handle that situation because Michael is adamant about Ashley cutting off her mother. So her mother's going to have to be, choose whether she wants to be living in a house or living on the street, or unless she's going to find some type of way to come up with paying for the bills, the financing basically. So sometimes when you pull away finance, people find other resources. So maybe she can find another resource since she might not be having, Ashley to help her out. So it is what it is. I was just like, damn. So anyways, we get to, yoga, and basically Ashley's teaching the class and it's all good. So basically Candace shows up and Giselle shows up, and it is what it is. We find out that, I find out that, Miss Candace was Miss United States of 2013. So okay, go Miss Candace, do your thing, girl. So anyways, after class is over, they start to have a conversation, and basically, Candace is talking to Giselle about her getting married, and she was like, oh, he's a bald headed white guy like Michael, basically, but he's white and this and that. And she's talking about, his penis, and he's like a brother. And so, when he drinks, he becomes like a brother. And so, Giselle's like, yo, isn't that kind of like racist? Isn't that kind of like offensive to say, basically? Trying to say that or black people act a certain way when they're drinking or whatever. Like so basically from 9 to 5, he's a proper white guy. When we put some malt liquor in his system, he turns into a brother. So basically that's what Giselle is saying. But in previous videos, when we first met Chris on the show, I said that, Candace seems like the white girl in the relationship and he seems like the black guy in the relationship, just the way, it seems like he got a little bit of soul, a little bit of flavor. And then we find out he cook soul food. So it is what it is. And so basically, Ashley was like, no, I don't find it offensive. He knows bless and he knows this and that. She was like, well, what about the black people? So it's like basically she likes everything about him because he's kind of acting black, or was he raised around African Americans and that's why he identified and he comes off as being black? What is the deal with that situation? So I don't know. But I think Candace is putting her foot in her mouth, and she shouldn't, with these ladies. And basically she starts to talk about her husband's penis, her fiance's penis, how it's peak on the top, and then the rest of the way is kind of like brown, so she's never really had a white man, basically what she's trying to say. So and she was like, we're in the Magnum family. Like, she's giving out way too much information, but that just shows you that Candace is young. You know what I mean? She's young and she's fun, and she's bragging on her husband, and probably she doesn't think none of these women can snatch her man. But usually, somebody that be watching the show can snatch a man. Now they know he's long and charged, and basically, you don't tell all your personal business to these people because a woman be ready to jump on top of your man in a heartbeat. So you keep what you do in the bed between you and that person. Don't tell your girlfriends, don't tell your boyfriends, don't tell anybody. Keep it to yourself because they'll be ready to try it. So it is what it is with that situation. So I think, Candace is going to learn a lot from this, season, that basically she's going to have more etiquette and be more proper, and won't say things that could be used against her, or people to consider that, she's being, disrespectful to different cultures and different races, actually. So it is what it is. And so, they talk about, the prenup, with, what's her name? Candace talking about, she wasn't really thinking about a prenup. Prenup is not all that big of a deal, blah, and the third. And so Karen was like, you better get a prenup, girlfriend. You better do something. You got the money, because basically, Ashley is actually saying that, she has more money. She came from well-to-do family, and Chris really doesn't have any money. So it seems. So that's when Giselle was like, you better wake up. You better snap up out of that Magnum strong and charged, breaking your back, and get it straight. And so they also talk about Ashley's prenup, and right now it's on hold. I guess it's being redone or whatever. I don't know, but actually make sure that prenup is in your favor, because you might be kissing Michael goodbye if you keep, taking care of your mom. It's a hard situation. Like, a lot of people say just drop her because your mama don't care about you either. Your mom went and sacrificed for you, and she gave you up and all this other stuff. And it's easy for you to say, you know what, I can walk away, but some people just can't walk away. It is what it is, especially their own mama, even if their own mama ain't no good. So it is what it is with that situation. It would be a hard choice for me to type to But anyways, my mom wouldn't be with no guy for 15 years that ain't never had a job and wanted to live in a tent, that can't provide or whatever, because my mother can't provide for herself, but she's not going to have no leeches on her. You know what I mean? She had us all working. So it is what it is with that situation. It's a tough place to be in. So anyways, Candace is having a little get together in a soccer field. She wants to have bubble soccer. Basically, she's talking to Michael and they go out and they're having dinner. And basically, Candace is at the table fixing her bra and whatever. And she was like, it ain't right, moving it around. I was like, damn, girl, go to the bathroom. So, you can see that she has some down, she's kind of like down to earth, basically, in so many different words. And so you can kind of see what Michael and Candace's relationship, they kind of like complete each other in so many different words. But he's been married before, so he's been down this road before, and plus he got 3 children. She has none, so she don't really have any baggage coming to the table. Only baggage that Candace really have coming to the table is having her mother and everything, but her mother is the financial provider and she's the support, so she's paying for a lot of the things, you know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. And Chris seems okay with Candace's mother paying for things and taking care of business, because it probably helps him out a lot, because we don't know how much his restaurant makes, and we don't know how long he's been owning the restaurant, and how much taxes and things like that, and paying employees and just buying produce products and things like that. So he might just be breaking even at the end of the day. Who knows? So it is what it is. And so what's her name? Candace invites all the ladies to go to, the soccer thing. And so Monique is at home, and guess who shows up? Corsette, whatever her name is, she shows up, and basically she's dissing Candace, invitations that, it look childish, it look kiddish, it look this, it look that, just basically dissing Candace. I don't think she liked Candace. I don't think she's feeling Candace. Who knows? It's whatever. And so basically Corsette and Monique talk about networking, and Monique is happy that she met her because they networked a lot and they're doing a lot together. And you got Monique talking about bottling up a recipe with ginger to help her kids get well. It's nice to see she feeding her kids herbs instead of cold medicine, and so it was really good to see or whatever. So then we get Gazelle, basically she meets up with Robin and they're having a conversation, and Gazelle got a shade, and she was like, she likes Candace a lot better than she likes Monique, but we'll see next episode it ain't gonna go down like that. So anyways, Gazelle goes to see Robin and kind of shades Robin at the same time, talking about she's talking about she moved 2 feet down the street and the house is 3 feet bigger than the old house. Just basically shading her like, why you move anyway, in so many different words. And so we have Monique telling Corsette or Celeste or whatever, telling her that, hey, listen, Gazelle needs to get a ghost. Celeste, I think her name is Celeste. Celeste telling Celeste that Gazelle needs to get a ghostwriter because she can't read, whatever. She needs a ghostwriter to read that book, especially she's coming at book signings. So Monique is throwing shade, but basically she's throwing shade, but Gazelle just threw shade talking about she likes Candace more than she likes Monique. So it is what it is with that situation. So I'm like, okay, whatever, I'm reloaded. It's all good. And so so anyways, so all the ladies are over there at Robin's house. Robin has Karen there, she has Corsette there, or Corsette, whatever her name is, Celeste, Karen and Giselle, they're there, and basically they're reminiscing about how they used to be close and how they used to be tight and how they used to be friends. So, and they're at Robin's house. Basically, Robin kids are helping out, whatever. They're gossiping and talking crap or whatever, but the kids are around. But then when they start to talk about penises, they ask the kids to leave. So the kids are all up in grown folks' business, So it's like, okay, her kids are going to be some gossiping young boys. That's what's going to happen. So anyways, they're painting or whatever. And so, Celeste, basically, she writes on the wall because, they leaving messages on the wall, right? And because it's supposed to be painting, but they're going to paint over it. And basically, she says that, Gazelle needs a ghost writer. And she lets it be known that, Monique is the one that said it. So it's like, damn, why, Celeste, why you going around, telling what Monique said? I thought you and Monique was close and down to earth and all this other stuff. So you're going back and repeating what she said. Is it to be messy? Of course it is to be messy, but it is what it is. You know what? If you say something, mean it, because it's going to be repeated, especially if you on TV. So it is what it is. And so anyways, that's when Giselle was like, oh, is she delayed? Is she tired? Is she foolish? What's wrong with her? She desperate. So basically, Giselle is going in on Monique, talking about something's wrong with that child, or whatever. I was like, okay, so it is what it is. And so then they end up talking about, Michael's penis, Candace's husband's penis, and how it's different color, and why is she talking about her husband's penis, and this and that. They drew the penis on the wall, whatever. Like, they're really tired. They all tired doing that dumb shit. It was dumb. It didn't make no sense. So anyways, the realest moment you get out of the situation was when Robin, she's actually telling a story that she was broke. She working so hard because she don't want to be broke again. She didn't have no gas. She couldn't have hot water to take hot showers and things like that. So she was really at a bad time. And then I think Karen was like, how long was that? So she didn't answer how long that she was without gas or whatever. So it is what it is. And so that's when Robin says the reason why, like, she gets so offended when Ashley attacks her and this and that, get into her relationship. But Ashley says she's gonna mind her business, and hopefully Ashley minds her business. But as we see, Juan is nowhere around, and she's trying to hold on to a lover hooligan. But she got her family there. That's cool. I don't know how long it's going to last. I don't know how it is living to be second best. I don't know how it is to be second best. I don't know how they do it. So anyways, it is what it is. And then we get Giselle. We learned that Sherman used to play for the NBA or whatever. He used to be professional basketball player, but he's no more a professional basketball player anymore. I guess he does some business. So then you get, Ashley, she meets up with Michael and she talks to him, and basically he was like, yo, we had a discussion. You're supposed to be cutting your mother off. How did that go? Ashley was like, I can't do that. I really can't. I can't. She was like, I don't know. But so Ashley has to make up her mind. What does she want? Does she want her husband, or does she want to be with her mother? Like, she has to make a choice. Like, either she really sits down with her mother and say, hey mom, it's either this, either homeboy goes, or I can't financially support you anymore, but you know what, I'll be your daughter, you can call me, I can talk to you, but I can't financially help you at all, period. And then move on with her husband. But only way I would make that decision if actually her husband Michael is not over there on Grindr, because if he's on Grindr and he's cheating on her, she should be able to cheat with her mother and give her some money. But anyways, her mother, one way or another, her mother's gonna have to wake up, because what if something happens to Ashley, or she's no more in the picture? Her mother's gonna have to try to find a way to survive regardless. So sometimes you push people back up against the wall. They become resourceful and they find a way out. Because I don't know why this man is sitting there for 15 years and not doing nothing, unless he has some other source of income that Ashley doesn't know about, that is between Ashley's mother and him or whatever. So it is what it is. And so now they get to this soccer ball field thing. It's all right, it's cool. Basically, Robin's talking about it stinks in the body. So it was like, are you smelling yourself or somebody else who's in it? Gazelle was too good to play. Karen's, she says she's too elderly to play. And basically, it was really hot out there. It seemed like it was like 90 degrees. It was real hot, and being in the bubbles or whatever. The food came late, and you have Michael and Ashley, they show up or whatever, and basically he was like, oh, I'm going to hit you from the front. And she was like, yeah, that's the only way you're going to hit us, from the front. I thought that was kind of weird to say when we hear about him on Grindr hitting it from the back. I was like, so he hits Ashley from the front and he hits the other guys from the back? Because she was like, this is the only way you're going to get us, from the front. That's how you like it, from the front. I don't know. That shit seemed kind of weird. And so, not Robin, but Gazelle had to bring up when she meets Michael, when she meets Candace's husband, about his penis and all this other stuff. And she thought that she was throwing a dig at Candace and between Michael or something. But she was like, oh, I already told Michael about the conversation. It's no biggie. And so he's comfortable with it. And they're like, oh, well, I wouldn't say anything. Like, I have a hard time looking up. Like, no, like if you happy with Sherman and you riding Sherman and your sex life is so wonderful with Sherman, you wouldn't even care if his penis is brown or white or pink or purple. So it is what it is with that situation. So they're trying to make a big deal out of it. And it doesn't really go anywhere, because Chris doesn't care about them talking about his penis or whatever. And they're trying to ask her, like, why are you talking about your husband's penis and this and that? Because she wants to him. She's trying to be open with you, and she's just going about the wrong way doing it, but she feels like, hey, I'm just gonna talk about it because she's still young or whatever. So it is what it is with that situation. And so then you got Gazelle throwing shade at Karen, talking about, Ray couldn't be here because God forbid if he hurts himself and can't pay the IRS. It was like pure shade. She don't give a shit about Karen. So it is what it is. Karen is like, it's 100 degrees out here. She's there with her manager or her friend or her personal assistant, whatever his name is. He's there with her. They hot, they sweating. Karen got on that hot wig, and she's sweating under that hot wig. It's too much, you know what I mean? She snatched that thing right off, and basically that's what happens. She gets at the table, and, the food is taking a long time to come. Her wig is shifting this way, shifting that way. It's coming off, it's coming back, it's coming frontwards. There's some baldness going on. Her hair is pulled back, and she was like, whatever. And she's trying to fix it with the sunglasses. She's going back and forth trying to fix that wig. And everybody's at the table just laughing at her. Just laughing. They just think it's, really hilarious. Whatever. Like, come on. Like, you guys are not used to wigs. Like, come on. Wigs shift in shape all the time. But they laughing at Karen's wig or whatever. And, Candace did mention that when she was out to dinner with Michael that, hey, listen, there's going to be some wig shaping and all this other stuff. And so basically, Gazelle and Celeste, they start to question, Candace about her finance. Basically, they learned that, her mother pays for the house. Her mother is part owner of the house with Candace. And Michael don't really own anything when it comes to the house and all this other good stuff. And she's paying for the wedding. And basically, she's also the number one and only investor in their hairline that the two sisters, Candace and her sister, are doing. So it is what it is with that situation. It's like, and so, Celeste is like, oh, so she pays your rent? What are you worried about it? At least somebody paying her rent. That's her mama. If her mom want to take care of her daughter, she can. And one thing I can say about Candace is Candace may have her mother paying for a lot of things, but she doesn't come off as a spoiled brat. She doesn't come off like she's entitled. She doesn't come off as an asshole. She doesn't come off like she's better than anybody. She's just trying to fit in and get in where she get in for now. We don't know. She doesn't come off like a spoiled, rotten, entitled, she's better than everyone type of person, in my opinion. So it is what it is. Karen immediately stops, Candace was like, yo, don't tell them none of your business. Don't tell them, because they're going to twist it and use it against you. And a previous argument is going to come back in your face and they're going to use it against you. So don't tell them shit like I don't. I don't tell them shit. And I was like, yeah, we know you don't tell us nothing. And so then you got Ashley jumping in and her confessional talking about, Cam, you better be quiet before they start talking about your husband's tax problems. So it is what it is, the situation. So it was a boring episode, but we got through it, right? So peace. I'm out. One love.